Hey guys, Bryan here from Liquid Concepts. So today we're going to do a little bit of different video this time. It's not going to be a carbon fiber, but we're going to be doing a wood grain. So this is out of a older model Escalade Dash, and so customer has wanted a wood grain pattern, nice wood grain pattern. Wanted something more like factory, so we figured we'd go ahead and shoot a video on it. That way you can kind of see what we're looking at. So something like this. This is a pretty hard item to dip, I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of nooks, a lot of crannies, a lot of areas that's going to trap air. And so I'll kind of go over a little bit on some of the different methods that you can do and where the pitfalls are gonna be in each method. So of course the easiest thing is to just dip it like this, right? If you do that, you're definitely going to trap air, tons in here, probably in here, things like that. Of course, everything's just going to go inward. Another one that we can do is holding it up like that, going inward like this. So if we kick it sideways like this, that will help. But the problem is if we do that, then we're still going to be trapping a little bit of air right in this area. And so another way that you can do that is that if you have if you dip it like this, so you can actually dip it going down and inward like that, but the problem is that whenever you are dipping it like that, then you're going to trap air in this way. So there's always going to be some area that you're probably going to be trapping air just because of the nature of the way that this is built. It's not going to be something that's just going to be a simple in and out and you're ready to go. You can do what we're going to try to do. We're actually going to like roll it in, pull it back, roll it forward again, but you've got to be on your toes watching how that water comes in, or the film comes into the part, up the part, and then back out of the part. And so actually what we're going to pretty much be doing is we're going to start in like this. We're going to go inward with it, so that way all of the actual film will come up inside here, and then it will roll off back into this area right here. Well, then it's still going to be coming up, and so as it's coming up like here, we're going to actually kick it like this. And so then it actually has an area to come up into here with this groove and then come back out. And then once it crests over about right in here, we're actually going to roll it again back like this. And so essentially it's going to be something similar to coming in like this right here, coming in like that, and then moving it forward to dip. Now again, it's not something that is very easy, and also too, as it's coming around these areas, this area right in here may look a little weird because you are kind of rotating that. Of course, inevitably, the only way to actually dip any of this area right in here is to do a double dip. There's not really going to be a good way to get the film to stretch all the way down in there. That is way more than what it needs to be as far as the film itself, because there's no way that you can actually take this much film, stretch it all the way down, all the way in, and then have it come out looking like it needs to. And so for us, there's pretty much a lesser of the two evils. Which one do you want to do? Do you want to touch up more air pockets like in here, in these corners? Do you want to try to maneuver it more like this as you're going in the water to try to prevent more air or less air from trapping? It's kind of a catch-22. It's going to be your skill level, what you think that you feel like you can handle, and you know, just kind of how you feel like that part should be dipped. Now again, every part's going to be different. One thing that we are going to do is that we are not going to actually tape off any of this backside right here, because we do want the air to go all the way past here and go all down inside each one of these little areas like this right here. And so for us, it's going to go in here. Everything's going to be good on that. Now what we are going to do is of course it's going to stretch like crazy going down in this area. Customer already knows it. We've already informed him about it. But we will come back in and airbrush in all of this area right in here, just mainly because we know that the stretch is already going to be there. Customer's perfectly fine with it, so we're going to come back in and get all of that done, so then that way everything's ready to go. So the wood grain that we're actually going to be dipping is a straight grain. So the grain is going to be going this way, and so it's actually going to be our Macassar wood. I think Macassar, I don't know. I'll have to Google it and figure out how you exactly say it. But I think it's like Macassar wood. Anyways, if you go to our website, SWG264 is the number. I'm going to have the link in the description below, so that way you'll be able to click it if you do like the wood. Now, another thing is that we have base coated in a darker color. So if it does create an air pocket or a blowout or anything like that, or it stretches, it's not going to be as noticeable. So that's one thing to keep in mind, because of course with the white, if it stretches, you see it like crazy on brown. But if it's like a tan or a beige or a brown or something like that, then it will definitely help hide the wood, and it'll also make it look more of like a true earth tone color after it's all said and done. And of course it's a lot easier to touch up. So let's go ahead, we'll get the film laid out, and then we'll get it cut, laid on the water, and pretty much try to go ahead and get everything dipped, show you guys a few things, and go from there. So let's get started. So of course this is going to be more than enough right here for the dip, and then all we're going to do is we're going to cut a line right down here, and then go from there. So looks like everybody has stole all my knives. Thank you. All right, so now we got a knife. Cut this down here. And again, I'm gonna give myself plenty of room. I don't need that much, but just in case, it's always easier to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So, so for this one, we're just gonna go ahead and make sure we have plenty of room. Of course we do on this side, but also on the other side. So other thing is that we need to make sure which side goes up on the water, which side goes down. Quick and easy test. Pretty much we'll get our fingers wet here, and then we're gonna grab the actual graphic itself, and then the side that sticks to our finger, which is this side right here, not that side, that's gonna go down in the water. So in this case, we've got our tank already prepped out, ready to go. I'm gonna take this, and let's see if we can pick this up here. Yep, I think, maybe not. All right, so we'll go a different route. Okay, let's try this again. So, we got the film all in here. So one thing that we are going to do is we're going to drop our soak time, because it is so hot out here and when our temperature is already pretty warm. We're actually going to drop it down to about 40 seconds as we are getting ready to go. So a little bit quicker time, but it's going to allow us to spray our activator and hopefully not have those wrinkles or the lines. Hopefully not have the lines move like what we did before. Oh yeah. So much better. All right, everything looks good. So here is the moment of truth. All right. So that is everything dipped. Now, one thing is that I wasn't watching over here, and we did have a little bit of a blowout right there. Technically, we can either re-dip that or re-base coat it to try to help in getting everything pretty much all back uniform again. We're probably going to go ahead and re-base coat it, re-dip it, and go for round 2. But as you can tell, doing it like that, you have almost no actual air pockets that got trapped in here. Now there was a lot more work on my end, watching and moving and everything like that, but it did seem to help quite a bit in the air pockets. So we're going to go ahead, re-base coat this, and then we're going to hit it again and try for round 2. So stay tuned. So this is going to be right after the dip. We have not rinsed it yet, and so as you can see, we've got really good coverage all the way around the entire part. We don't have any trapped air pockets or anything like that. What little touch-ups that we do have, those are going to be easy enough to touch up. And so as you saw on the first video that we did, we had a little blowout, and it was on this backside over here. And so if you remember right, we had a blowout somewhere around in this area right here. And so what we've done is, and you can do this sometimes whenever you do have a part that is trying to wrap around and it's almost flat, what we've done is we just ran tape, and it's just a big 2-inch tape all the way around this whole edge, this whole back edge right here. And you can tell that just by doing that, it made the dip a whole lot better, and also it let it flow from here all the way around and also keep on going. And so what happened was is that it got caught right around in this area right here, and then it was able to just blow out because it pretty much, the water rushed in too quickly and it broke the film. And so by putting the back taping like we've got right here, this really helps out. And you can see that just on the back side there, it's just mainly just taped to it, nothing fancy, just something just real quick, just enough to get the tape to stick to the back edge of it and give it a little bit extra to go around the entire part. And so we've done that all the way around, and it makes it to where whenever we actually dip the part, everything looks a lot more uniform, everything looks really good, and of course it goes all the way around the entire part. Another thing is, by doing it this way, we were actually able to go up inside here quite a bit. Now we'll probably come back in and still darken that area in like what we had talked about with the customer, but the actual dip itself looks really good. Just a few minor touch-ups. We got a few spots here and there, easy enough to touch up, but the customer is definitely going to love it, and it's going to be all one dip and all together. So we're going to go ahead, get this rinsed and get it dried off, and then put some clear coat on it, and we'll show you the end result. So stay tuned.